0-3 in baseball yesterday.
Welcome, everybody, to the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Channel. My name is Ross Benjamin, host of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Today is Friday, August the 11th, and we're sponsored by winnercircle.com and winnercircle.net. One portion of our company is video-oriented. That would be the .com, and the .net is where you'll find 10 of the finest handicappers in the country today. And one of those handicappers, actually two of them, me and the guy up above me, Mr. Chirimbes of winners of gamblersworld.net. Excuse me, I wanted to say winnercircle.com. Right. No such thing. But Chipper, how are you?
I'm fine. A little stumble in baseball yesterday, but we hit our megabuck. Started the season with a megabuck winner in basketball. In NFL football, yeah. And it was great what Houston just handled New England the way we anticipated. And I see more of the same in the preseason. Ross, you know, and I and you, both of us feel that the preseason is one of the biggest advantages we have on the bookmaker and on the public, because there's so many dramatic lines that are so well, I guess. They're anomalies. They come out to us, they stand out to us, and we jump on them and had great success during the preseason.
Yeah, that's why I asked you yesterday. I was sort of surprised when you went with the Jets yesterday, but you made a compelling case to do so. But not that I'm on the other side, Chipper, but just because I know the way you think. You're an excellent line reader. I mean, I don't think I've come across anybody in the industry that is so perceptive when it comes to that. And go ahead.
I thank you for that, but you have to remember that the Jets were a forced play by me. You know, I mean,
it was an assigned game, correct?
Right. So it isn't like I might not even think about using it.
Yeah.
And you know what the heck? They have a game under their belt. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting out there because Matt Rule hasn't been too successful with the Carolina Panthers, so he's gone, and now we have a new regime, and we have the quarterback whisperer there, Frank Wright, and he's going to get who's it, Bryce Young, the quarterback from from Alabama. But Ross, like I said, I was a little concerned about the durability of someone that's even smaller than Tua. So I'll say that's enough for that, because who knows what's going to happen in this preseason game. But sure, looking forward to the rest of the season as well.
Well, your point is well taken. I mean, you look at a guy like Kyler Murray from Arizona. He's a diminutive quarterback too, and he's starting. You know, you're starting to see the wear and tear of him taking so many hits. Yeah. I mean, that's a kid who likes to take off and scramble and run, and you know, in the NFL, it's not like college football. I mean, the kids
it's not for long.
No, exactly. When you start doing that,
and these guys. They play 17 games, and they're playing them. It's like they're in the Roman Coliseum, and all these guys are gladiators. And this is the modern version of what gladiators do. These guys just run around and run into each other. They've got a little padding around, but still, you see incredible injuries that happen and careers that are shortened all the time. And safety is a main concern of they say safety is the main concern of the NFL. I don't really know. I think their main concern is making sure DraftKings continues to be a sponsor.
Isn't that true? I remember before gambling was legalized across the country, for any other state beside Nevada, they would crucify it. The NFL was totally against betting on their sport, but they had DraftKings on as a sponsor. And got paid millions of dollars for sponsorship.
They're booking action in the stadiums.
Yeah. Now, yes, they are. But when I go back to then,
that was a different story. I mean, Pariah. We had a local TV show that we did in Manhattan, and people would call up and say, "How do you have the audacity to come up here and do this and talk about this?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, God bless America. You could put Tammy Faye Baker on, change the channel anytime you want." So here we are.
A lot of what I'm saying, there was a lot of hypocrisy by the NFL back in the day, and now all of a sudden they got a 1% revenue share, and like you just said, guess what? You could start betting on. You could betting right in your seat at the stadium. So
you're partners.
Yeah, exactly. In any event, we got two games we're going to be discussing today. Actually, it's the last two games of the week. And we've covered the other 14 games on this channel, folks. There's only 2 that have been played this week as of our recording right now on Friday the 11th. And we hit 2 winners last night. Doug Upstone, we taped that on Monday, and Doug had the Houston Texans like Chip had on his premium play. I had the Seattle Seahawks. So we got off to a 2-0 start, but folks, you can go to the archives at our channel at Winner's Circle Sports Betting, and you'll find all 16 games will be up very shortly after we're done with this video. So a lot to choose from there. And folks, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, you're watching. I see the views are spiking once again, and there's over 10,000 subscribers already, or close to 10,000 subscribers. And if you're not one of those, I don't know why. I mean, it costs you nothing. It's absolutely free. There's no strings attached. And you get to watch some of the best handicappers in the world right here on this channel go to work. And not only are we trying to give you free winners, okay, we're also, you got to pay attention to our analysis and some of the discussions we have, because like I've said from the beginning of this project, which was over 3 years ago, we want to make you a smarter sports bettor today than you were yesterday. And if we do that today, that's great, because I want you to come back tomorrow and we're going to make you even smarter. That's our goal. Okay. So again, these free picks are great. We've done tremendous with them since the start of the project. We've done very well with them over the last 2 weeks. But remember, folks, we get paid for our premium paid selections by our clients. And if you're interested in going that route, go to gamblersworld.net. That's where you can find all our best stuff. And you know what the best part about gamblersworld.net, Chip? Our picks are guaranteed.
Right.
Well, so what does that mean? No, you don't get your money back if you lose. But if you buy Chipper's $49 mega bucks play, which is his top plays, and Chip happens to have a losing day, which is rare with those plays, then you're going to get $49 credited back to your account. You could use it any which way you like, toward any handicapper you like, at any time you wish. So it's not like you got to use it the next day. It's not like you got to be married to Chip. You get pissed off at Chip, excuse my French, you could buy from me with that $49 or vice versa, or any other of the 8 great handicappers. By the way, folks, since the site was launched right after the All-Star break, Chipper's number 2 in all sports. I'm number 3. And Matt Fargo is number 1. And boy, oh boy, Matt Fargo, Chip, this guy, he connects on money line underdogs like nobody I've ever seen in Major League Baseball. So God bless him. He's knocking it dead. Okay, and it goes to show you, myself and Matt, right around the 500 mark as far as win-loss percentage in baseball, but making money, because it's not so much. It's not like point spread betting. Anyway, let's talk point spread betting, Chip. And we're going to couple of interesting games on Sunday. I guess it's still the preseason, but some franchises that are, quite popular. The Kansas City Chiefs, the defending world champions, are going to travel to the Superdome in New Orleans. Is that what they call it? No, Caesars, whatever they call it. Caesars Sportsbook Dome or whatever. All these damn sponsors change year by year. In any event, at New Orleans. And right now, the New Orleans Saints, just before we came on air, went from -3 to -2. And the total in this game is 38. So, Chipper, it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you think on this game.
Well, I think I was supposed to do the Niners and the Oakland Raiders.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Raiders.
You know what? That's my game.
Okay. What's that?
That's my game, New Orleans and Kansas City. I apologize.
Yeah,
no wonder you had that dumbfounded look on your face. Let me do my game.
Just a little segue anyway. But if the NFL is partners with DraftKings and are getting a percentage, doesn't it make the players a partner as well?
Yeah, you would think, but these guys are getting millions of dollars. Come on,
I know it's. I'm
Yeah,
just. I'm just trying to say how far we've come from where
yeah,
we
no doubt.
started.
And anyway, Chip is going to be covering San Francisco and Vegas. But since I mentioned the New Orleans and Kansas City game, let me get into it, and then we'll let Chip do his play.
All right.
Since 2002, Andy Reid, actually, he's been a head coach in the NFL every year since 1999. Once he left Philadelphia in 2013 or 2012, he went right to Kansas City, who picked him up right away. But since 2002, Andy Reid has gone 16-8 to the over in the preseason as head coach in Kansas City and Philly as an away pick or underdog. And there's been 45.2 points scored per game in those contests. You look at Kansas City's backup quarterbacks, they're pretty good. I mean, when I say pretty good, I'm not looking at starting material. Like I mentioned on this morning's podcast, is when you're looking at the quarterback rotations and you're looking at the second and third string quarterback, don't think in line with, okay, is this guy a legitimate starter or he stunk when he was given the opportunity? These guys are facing backups. And Blaine Gabbert's was a former number one choice. Hasn't panned out the way the experts thought when he came out of college, but still he's going to be facing backups and he's very capable. And Shane Buechele, youngster that started out at Texas, highly lauded coming out of high school, went to SMU, put up record numbers there. So I'm okay with the two backups, and I'm assuming Mahomes isn't going to play. So especially based on this line, then you look at the Kansas City backups on defense. 14 of their 29 backups on defense, second, third, and fourth teamers are rookies. So very young, which means very inexperienced, which means guys like Jameis Winston, who's been a long-time starter in the NFL. Sometimes he has trouble knowing what team to throw to, but he still could thrive in this situation against backups. And Jake Haener, the other guy for New Orleans, the number 3 guy, I really liked him, Chip, when he was at Fresno State. He blew out his knee early last year and unfortunately fell to the 4th round. I really think this kid was a second, third round draft choice at worst if he did not get hurt. Very intelligent quarterback. Derek Carr is now the starter, comes over from the Las Vegas Raiders. And Derek Carr, again, what could you say? I don't know if he's going to play in this game, but in any event, 2 solid quarterback rotations for both teams, inexperienced defense for Kansas City, and Andy Reid, history of going over the total during preseason action as a way pick or underdog. I'm going to take a small shot here, Chip, and go Kansas City and New Orleans over the total of 38. Any thoughts at all?
I was thinking about the New Orleans quarterbacking situation, and it may have been improved, but I don't know if it's all that much better, really. Kansas City just has a habit of winning these games, even in preseason. So the regular season, they don't cover, not so much.
Yeah, especially at home. They're usually a heavy favorite.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised. I looked up Andy Reid's preseason record with Kansas City and with Philadelphia. And when you combine the two teams together, they're pretty similar, right around 500. So it's not like they make a killing in the preseason. Again, I like to look at these head coaching trends, Chip, because it speaks to philosophy to me. So again, we discussed that topic yesterday. But anyway, you're going to look. I got you on the right game this time.
You do?
Yes, I do.
It's
been a long week, man.
Too, right?
Been a long week. I'm telling you. I'm a little bit crispy.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know exactly where I'm coming from. San Francisco goes on the road to Las Vegas, your hometown.
How about that?
4:00 on Sunday. The 49ers, a 4-point favorite on the road, Chip. Total 36. I like the 49ers quarterback rotation. What about you?
Well, how could you not, really? I mean, they hit harder than anybody out there, I may say. 14-3 last year. Last year we did this in the preseason. Everybody was so high on the Raiders. They had made the playoff the year before. They had like 5 new additions, Adams in the receiving, defensive players. And I had said to you when we had to make our selection for the season over under win total that I would play the Raiders under. Well, the media and everyone else is expecting so little out of them this year. They think they have absolutely no chance to do anything. And I don't think they can win the division. And I don't even think they can probably come out of the cellar, but I think they have to be better than what most people believe. The last time they played at home here, they played against the Chiefs in a game that meant nothing to the Chiefs, and they destroyed the Raiders, and the Raiders didn't even come to play, and they didn't show any kind of defense. The player spirits seem to be pretty high here, Ross. They seem to be psyched for the season, and Garoppolo hasn't taken a snap yet. And Carr, they're happy to see Carr be jettisoned, and I'm sure I think he'll do better than most people think in New Orleans. He's a seasoned pro, but this is Daniels here in the Raiderland in Las Vegas. I think he's in a hot seat. He hasn't had a winning season, and it just seems like he makes, not the improper decision, but maybe makes the wrong call or decision at a timeout at the wrong time, and he loses yardage or whatever. And it just doesn't seem like they're all that well organized. Delay of game penalties before the snap of the ball, which is, really it's terrible that the team keeps doing that over and over again. But defensively, they had so many liabilities last year, and this year they're honing up on it. They're paying attention to it. If the Niners come to play, they should be able to run roughshod over the Raiders. I just think that the Raiders are going to come out with a little bit of pride here. I don't think it's all that important to San Francisco. I don't think they're all that worried about it. I mean, they don't seem to be too worried about their quarterback, no matter who he might be. So they power game you. They run the ball now, and you know what? They don't need to put that power game together in game 1 of the preseason. They need to be strong and healthy when the season rolls on. So I can see the Niners I don't want to say they're not giving forth the biggest effort, but this might be a great game to see who makes the squad and who doesn't make it. And it's a great time to cut people. I think the Raiders have to have a little bit more incentive.
It's a great time to cut people. There's an inspiring phrase. It's a great time of year to cut people. Anyway, that's correct.
They play him to cut him. Otherwise, the guys they know are on the team. They don't even play him, right? So, let the guy play himself off the team. If it may be tougher for the 49ers to decide than the Raiders, but I don't know. I think my gut tells me that maybe the Niners will keep this one close. Maybe the Raiders will keep this one close.
Chipper used to be with the New York Giants. He was the guy who walked to the dorm rooms to tell people they were cut. So he's got an affinity for that. No, I'm only kidding, folks, by the way. Yes. Back then they were in dorm rooms.
Yeah.
So in any event, you know what? I'm going to respectfully disagree with you on that one. I mean, look, here's the thing. You said Garoppolo hasn't taken a snap yet. What would make you think that he's going to take a snap in the opening preseason game? I mean,
I don't think he is at all.
Yeah, when you look, and I'm not saying you are, but my point being is, you look at the backup quarterback situation here. Brian Hoyer, the veteran who's seems like he's been around forever and a day, and he's 2 years shy of being a fossil. And Aiden O'Connell from Purdue. Yeah, a second-year quarterback or rookie quarterback, fourth round choice out of Purdue, rookie quarterback. Put up good numbers at Purdue, but I don't know. It's he may shock everybody and turn out to be a good quarterback. Who knows? Tom Brady was a 5th rounder.
I think he can play.
Yeah,
to me, my mindset in this game is what are the Niners thinking about? Or did they even? Are they just coming here to exercise and get a workout, or are they coming here with a serious attitude? I think the Raiders are going to take this a little more intensely than the Niners. That's the reason. Nothing to do with talent, nothing to do with who's playing or rotation. Mm-hmm. I think there's pressure on the Raiders to do well. 0-4 in the preseason last year. Yeah, and I think they're looking to at least get a cover.
Okay. All right. Well, it only matters what you think on this game. So Chip likes the Las Vegas Raiders at home +4 over San Francisco. I'm going to tell you this: since 1998, there's only been 5 times where a team has been an away favorite of 3.5 or more in an opening preseason game. Just 5 times. All 5 times, those away favorites won, and they did so by 13.2 points per game.
Now, that's something you're supposed to tell me yesterday.
Hey, you know what? Like you always said, I'll come up with an 80% angle and Chip will tell me, well, 20% of the time it doesn't win.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. So this time you can't. I don't know what you could possibly tell me. 5-0. It's not a big sample size. Anyway, so yeah, I like to look at those angles, and that's not to imply that I'm going to use this game. I'd be hesitant to lay the points on the road here, and Chip makes a good point. But the other part of the equation, I look at San Francisco backup quarterbacks. Trey Lance, he needs to show something. He's been hurt. He was a number one draft choice. Now he's pretty much lost his job to Brock Purdy, the last pick in the draft last year, who shined well for the 49ers a year ago, and Brandon Allen, who's had extensive play in NFL regular season action. Not ever going to be a starting quarterback or a quarterback that's going to take you to the Super Bowl, but I like their rotation a little better than the Raiders. So, but in any event, what matters is Chip likes the Raiders plus the 4 over San Francisco. And now that I got the right game to cover, I'm going to take the Kansas City and New Orleans game over the total of 38. Folks, don't forget, you'll see a WC button right on the bottom right-hand corner of your video box if you're on a PC. And if you click on that, that'll subscribe you. And if you're on your mobile device, which most of you are, statistically backed when I say that, because I look at my back end of our channel, and pretty much 70% or more of you are watching on a mobile device. There's a subscribe button right underneath that box. Just click on it. Costs you nothing, absolutely nothing. And then you'll see that like button. That's pretty important. You know why? Because when Chip goes out to the bars in Las Vegas, he's known as one of the biggest tippers in the country. And I'm not talking about just giving out betting tips. He likes to tip his bartenders, especially the female ones. And that's our tip jar. But you don't have to put any money in. You hit that like button. It's just a small token of appreciation for the work that we put forth on this channel. And we would appreciate it. Doesn't take much to satisfy us. Okay. Chipper, tell the folks any hot streaks you'd like to tell the folks about, or what you got coming up this weekend.
All right. Well, I hang my hat on the single strongest play of the day. Call it the A play or my mega buck play. Last year in preseason, 5-0 plus a game of the year winner. This year already started hit Houston as the best bet. And usually I come out with 1 or 2 a weekend. And otherwise, normally I'd give you 3 plays. But during the preseason, I like to just take it a piece at a time. And you'll end up with 20 plays by the time the 3 weeks are over. And we should have a nice little profit. I think we were 11-6 last year. And that was including the 5-0 with the mega buck plays. So just look for the single strongest play. And that's what I hang my hat on. In the meantime, you can get 3 baseball plays every day at the site. And I load them up. And if there aren't 3 games out there, you're going to get 1. And usually it would be my strongest play of the day.
Yeah, and we rate our plays on the site 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10 units. And just to let you people know, no, we don't let anybody just keep putting in 10-unit plays to try to get their tally up. You only get 2 10-unit plays per month from the first of the month to the last day of the month, and you only get 6 5-unit plays throughout the course of the month as well. The majority of plays you're going to get from us are 2, 3, and 4 units. And when we grade those plays and you see the statistics up on the leaderboards, we grade them $100 per unit. Now, that's not to suggest you need to play $100 a unit. That's just the way we grade them, and that determines if you're making a profit or made a profit on that particular day or not. So Chipper's Mega Bucks plays, they're going to be 5-unit and 10-unit plays for the most part. So keep an eye on those. And like I said, Chip is number 2 overall at the site right now since it's been launched around the All-Star break. I'm number 3 on the site. And over the last week, I'm number 1 going 10-5. My NFL preseason, folks, I can't emphasize enough. Those out there who say they can't make money in the preseason don't know what they're talking about. Chip just told you he went 11-6 last year, and he hit all 5 of his mega bucks plays. So those are his best bets. Myself, I won last night, just like Chipper did. And I'm now 19-10 with my NFL preseason picks since 2021. And as reported by Sports Capping, since 2010, I'm 75-52 with my NFL preseason picks. That's good for 59%, folks. So we're throwing some good numbers at you. They're all documented. Anybody who wants to question them, it's just not like some of these guys out there who throw these erroneous figures out there and we have no way to check or balance what they're doing. All our picks are documented. So again, folks, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And Chipper, we'll see you next week, buddy. You have a great weekend. And don't forget, Chipper, one of the best tippers in the country, tip him by hitting that like button. And for Chip Chirimbes and Ross Benjamin, I'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Take care and God bless, folks.
Thank you, Ross.